Welcome to The Explainer. So, we're all living in this world that's being completely transformed by AI, right? It makes you wonder, what skills do leaders really need now? Well, today we're going to look at how one leadership group decided to stop guessing and actually start using data to plan for this new age. This is the big question, isn't it? It's what organizations everywhere are grappling with. The ground is shifting right under our feet, and it feels like the old leadership playbooks, they just might not cut it anymore. So, that brings us to our case study for today, the Midlands Leadership Toastmasters Club. They took on this exact challenge. But here's the cool part. They didn't just sit in a room and brainstorm. They used AI to hold up a mirror to their own history. Let's dive in and see how they did it. Okay, so first, let's set the stage. We need to understand the problem they were really trying to solve. What was the gap between the kind of leadership they were teaching and the kind of leadership the world actually demands right now? For years, this club had been successfully shaping leaders using these proven, rock-solid methods, things like SWOT analysis, emotional intelligence, storytelling. But they had the foresight to realize that this new era, an era dominated by AI, remote teams, and a deep need for psychological safety, well, it required something more. So instead of just guessing what that something more was, they turned to a powerful new kind of tool to analyze their own past and, uncover their own blind spots. The tool they used is called Notebook LM. Now, the key thing to understand here is that it's not like a generic search engine. It becomes an expert only on the documents you give it. It's basically your own personal research analyst. And they fed it years of their own data. Their entire institutional memory. We're talking everything from official handbooks and program manuals all the way down to the transcripts of their meetings. And what the AI found? Well, that's what makes this story so fascinating. See, by analyzing everything they'd ever done, the AI didn't just spit back a summary of what they already knew. It uncovered these surprising gaps, topics that are absolutely critical for modern leadership but were totally missing from their curriculum. The first major gap was a big one, the ethics of AI itself. Sure, they talked about AI as a tool to make things more efficient, but they'd never touched on the leader's responsibility to use that tool ethically, thinking about things like data privacy and algorithmic bias. Second, while they were great at teaching general team building, they hadn't specifically focused on the unique skills you need to lead and motivate teams that aren't in the same room. And let's be honest, that's the reality for so many of us now. And third, the AI highlighted this massive need for a dedicated focus on psychological safety. This is the absolute bedrock of any innovative, high-performing team. It's about creating a space where people feel safe enough to speak up, to take risks, and even to fail without being punished for it. So, armed with these incredible data-driven insights, the club didn't just write a report and file it away. Nope, they took immediate action and started building a whole new plan for their future. You can really feel their commitment in this quote from their VP of Education. The goal wasn't just to add a topic or two. It was to create a truly cutting-edge program, one that was dynamic and perfectly aligned with the real-world needs of leaders today. And this table just lays out the transformation so clearly. You can see the shift, right? From that solid, traditional curriculum on the left to one that actively and intentionally tackles the real challenges of today and tomorrow on the right. And here's what's so crucial. This new direction wasn't some mandate passed down from on high. It was a totally collaborative process. Members saw the data for themselves and then volunteered to research and lead sessions on these new critical topics. It was built from the ground up. So they didn't just make a plan and talk about it. They immediately put it into motion, completely transforming their educational program for the whole year. Let's actually take a look at how their program year unfolded. You can see on this timeline how each month's event was specifically designed to build on these new AI-informed priorities. And they started right away. The whole journey kicked off in July with this really innovative planning session. They used the AI analysis in real time, had this interactive discussion, and mapped out the entire year, figuring out how to weave new AI tools right into their club activities. Then in August, they jumped right in and tackled that first big gap with a powerful session on psychological safety. They even did role-playing exercises, practicing how to respond to dismissive comments, to really drive home that core idea that every single voice has power and deserves to be heard. September's session was all about getting practical. They taught members how to partner with AI to improve their public speaking, really reinforcing this theme of AI as a supportive co-pilot, not a crutch.
The big takeaway? Learning how to write customized prompts is absolutely essential to get useful feedback.
By the time November rolled around, they were already exploring how AI could transform not just speeches, but their entire personal knowledge systems. They learned how to design their own AI-powered tools to turn that fire hose of information we all face into actual, actionable wisdom and real-world impact. So, okay, this is a really cool story about one club, but why does it matter to you? Well, because their journey isn't just an interesting anecdote, it's a repeatable blueprint that any team or any organization can use. You can absolutely apply this same model. First, gather your own history, your data, your meeting notes, your project plans. Second, choose your AI copilot, a tool to help you analyze it. Third, find your own blind spots. And fourth, use that new knowledge to co-create your future together. So, we'll leave you with this question to chew on. If an AI held up a mirror to your team's history and skills, what would it find? What critical gaps might it uncover? And maybe even more exciting, what untapped potential would it reveal?